Phoenix Suns have a bunch of eager young players trying to audition. Getting to the 13 was good, though. We'll see what happens in the third.
Yeah, they didn't feel like playing, basically, when the game started. And,
20 seconds.
They got into it as the game went on a little bit more, so we'll see if they can come back in the third quarter and get it cracking.
Speaking fast tonight, aren't you? Yes. Jack in the Box halftime report starts right after this.
Repeat. You were a part of a three-peat and back-to-back. I want to start with you. How hard is that? Put this in perspective, please.
Oh, man. If my body could actually talk, it would explain to you how difficult it is. It is challenging, physically and mentally. LeBron has done it before. Right? He's been in this position before. So it's good to have someone that's experienced the pressures, the demand that it takes on your body and your mind to be in a position to win a second championship in a row. But I do believe this team is constructed as best as possible to make a run at winning another championship.
Fish, I only wrote about you guys winning back-to-back in 2009 and 10, and I was exhausted just writing about it. I mean, plus you went to the finals in 08 and, of course, lost to Boston. But what you did back in the day, really impressive. And, James, I know you won a few championships as well, didn't you?
You know, it's not difficult. I mean, it is difficult. I'm sorry.
Let us all know.
A little Freudian now. It's difficult, especially when it's predicted. You know, all the GMs are predicting that the Lakers made the best moves, and I think the one plus for them is that they just coming off of a championship win, and they have, as Fish said, one of the guys that's been there, done that. AD is bought in completely, and you have guys like Marc Gasol who's won, and he wants to get one, and you have some some players who are hungry and want to win. So yeah, I think they're favored.
It continues to just show, too, the work that the front office put in during this short off season to not just be complacent and understand what they needed to have all the necessary tools to repeat because of how tough you guys say it is.
For sure. I think we've all learned how quick that window closes in sports now. It is difficult to sustain the level of excellence it takes to win 2, 3, 4, 5 championships in a 6 or 7 year period. And so the Lakers are striking now while they have LeBron James, while they have Anthony Davis, et cetera. But this is a different time also. With one of the most challenging aspects from my perspective is all of the fanfare and your family and the celebratory aspect of you guys are the champions. Everybody's telling you how good you are. And just due to the world we're living in right now, they're not experiencing that as much, right? A little bit of that is kind of taken away. We're all in a much more just humble, real place. And I think that could help them to just keep focused on the work part of this and not walking around town, because we can't walk around town,
right?
You know, acting like I'm the man. Just focusing on playing basketball, my family, and staying healthy.
Speaking of the current player, as we know, who has done it, as you mentioned, LeBron James has been a part of a repeat before, and he said it's the hardest part about winning this title last season is that his teammates don't get to fully experience what it's like to be a champion. But when you look at these numbers for LeBron, he leads in a couple of individual categories: best small forward, best passer, second in opposing coaches making adjustments because of him. Number one, take a guess. James Harden. But year 18, big game. We talk about it all the time. LeBron James, approaching 36, continues to earn that all-around respect.
It didn't and doesn't happen by accident. I mean, he had a formula years and years ago. I'm sure he's, changed it a little bit and gotten better and better. He's disciplined, disciplined, committed, and he's been to the finals. So you don't play for anything less than that when you've tasted as many finals as he has. But I think the discipline and the way he takes care of himself, and that's a whole nother aspect of the game. Preparation and then being able to deliver. He's the king.
Yeah, and by the way, the fact that he's second among the players who make opposing coaches basically fret the most is amazing to me. I mean, the guys right after him on that list in the survey were Giannis, Steph Curry. I mean, very good players, obviously. And LeBron in year 18, still making the coaches, Fish, you can relate to this, kind of scramble to figure out a good game plan to kind of shut him down. He'll be 36 in just a couple weeks, and he is still doing it And the NBA survey, the GM survey, definitely given him appropriate props, I thought.
Yeah, no, it's unbelievable that a guy in year 18 is still playing at the level of efficiency and dominance that LeBron is playing, but he deserves a lot of the credit. I'm sure he has a team of folks and people that have helped him to get here that he gives credit to. But I was speaking to a group of middle school students earlier, middle school basketball players, and they were asking me about playing with Kobe Bryant. And I told them the greatest gift in playing with Kobe Bryant was being able to see somebody on a daily basis strive for this level of excellence that we're talking about with LeBron. And that is the greatest gift for a teammate that you could ever offer. And I believe that's why these are the guys that win the championships. It's why we talk about Magic and Kareem and Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and LeBron James, because they elevate everybody else to, you can't get to their level, but you're inspired and motivated by watching them do what they do. And it kind of forces you to level up more yourself if you want to win. And it's great to watch him wearing the purple and gold.
It just puts in perspective, because you would think that, as you mentioned, the discipline and those greats, when you speak of Kobe, you speak of Bron approaching year 18, you could get bored with the process. But it's these individuals that find ways to fall in love with it. And I think that's what's so motivating and inspiring. And of course, we continue to see with a current player like LeBron receive and earn the respect that he continues to do. Someone who did not earn respect, switching gears for just one moment, to wrap up this GM survey discussion, Frank Vogel did not get one vote. Is it because he's dealing with superstars? Is it because he has the superstars? I would think that would actually show his level of what he deserves in terms of that excellence.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that exists in our world for whatever reason. Phil Jackson didn't win a lot of Coach of the Year awards. I think the assumption was always that Michael Jordan was doing all of the work. Tyronn Lue, when he was in Cleveland, he didn't get a lot of credit for working with LeBron and being on his team. I feel like Eric Spoelstra was respected enough to get some credit for what was accomplished in Miami. But if the little bit that I know Frank Vogel, this actually makes him smile.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this is why he approaches things the way he does. Like, all he's trying to win is today. He could care less about what other people think, and that's the right type of leadership that this team needs.
But people always say, when you got AD and LeBron, you got great players, the job is easier, where I think it's a lot tougher when you have those type of personalities that you have to blend in there. So, but when you win a championship, I think that kind of overrules,
They're not looking at the surveys,
Coach
basically.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Speaks for itself.
Good discussion, guys. Straight out.
He does, man. He does so much for our team, and we're so happy to have him here. He obviously don't get much playing time during the regular season, but when he get in, we always mess with him, and he plays the game the right way. And so when you have a guy who plays the right way and makes shots, it's so much fun. And he got all the celebrations, and we love to see him go out there and make threes for us.
Frank, how would you evaluate the bench celebrations when Dudley gets a three?
I was only looking at Dudley's celebration. So I would evaluate his celebration as, I don't know, what metric are we using here? It was a 10 out of 10. It was a great celebration. He scoops the court with that low three fingers out. I don't know what you call it, but he's the best on our team for sure at celebrating a three ball.
Players' reactions, they always tell a story. And of course, when it comes to Jared Dudley, he doesn't get a lot of playing time, Brez, but when he does, and he does something like that, it speaks volumes, just how respected he is in that locker room.
Absolutely. I mean, always so energetic, whether he's in the game or on the sidelines. And I think he realizes by now he's going to be on the sidelines for the most part. And he's fine with that. And you know what? So are the Lakers. What a great pickup for them. He was the second to last guy they signed. Remember, they picked up Quinn Cook after they re-signed Jared. And Fish, I never covered you, James, as a player, but Fish, I remember when I covered you, you were always available, win or lose after a game. And if you won, sure, you'd have a one-liner for us, be, a little happier, of course. If you lost, though, you'd be very introspective, and I was appreciative of that. And I feel like Jared's the same way. If the Lakers win, he's a go-to guy. You can always count on him to be available to the media. Don't underestimate the importance of a player who's always willing to talk to the media as far as keeping the beat writers happy. That's very important.
We certainly love him. when it comes to the media
we
aspect.
love talking too.
Fish, when it came to winning those titles, I think it's important when you look at winning teams that everyone on that roster understands their role and is a star in their role. Did you have a teammate like that who you appreciated in that regard?
Yeah, I mean, I could think of a few guys. Like John Sally comes to mind, the 2000 team, our first championship team. That veteran that, you know, had been on championship teams in Detroit. I think he helped Shaq a lot, understanding some things. He helped me a lot as well. Josh Powell comes to mind in terms of our 08, 09, 10 kind of era. Josh pushed us really hard in practice. When he got in the game, he performed well. Didn't necessarily get a lot of media attention. But if you rewind the clock, Mark Madsen also comes to mind. Like a guy that played really hard, had the respect of his teammates, didn't get a lot of playing time, but the teammate reactions, that's the part that reminds me. Anytime Mark did something good, we would go crazy just celebrating his success, and it reminds me of that time.
Because they deserve that love as well.
For sure.
They put in the work.
For sure.
The NBA continues to be a positive leader and example to other professional sports leagues. On Thursday, the NBA Foundation announced it is giving out $2 million in grants in black communities. These grants aim to increase education and employment access in these communities by providing skills training, mentorship coaching to people of all ages across the United States and Canada. Keep it here as the Lakers and Suns are about 30 minutes away from the final game of the preseason. KCP rested a sore hip on Wednesday. He's back